Scorpio, welcome to the first part of your Astroflower reading. This is called the Blueprint reading, the Energy Blueprint reading, where we're going to be going into your chakras and your aura for the week going from the 29th of January through to the 5th of February, sorry. Okay, so let's go straight in here. Let's just see what's going on. We obviously did do the monthly readings, which came out this week. You might have seen them. Let's just see what's going on in your root chakras. This is where we get that movement on the right hand side, and I think it's going to be very I think in this week here, I think it's going to become obvious within you, and I think there's going to be a realization that things need to move, things need to readjust and get into a different position, certainly on the relationship side and stuff like that. It's not that it's hazy, but there isn't any real definition on that side at the moment. So you could be floating around within your relationships, but nothing really connecting at the moment. And it will come down to sort of what do you want out of the relationships. If you're seeking to please others, which is absolutely brilliant, which is lovely, which is very nice, don't forget you're not going to be satisfying yourself. So you will be satisfying that eternal human thing where you want the best for the other person. Yes, I can understand that. But at the same time, you're not satisfying your root, basically, your raison d'etre. Okay? So maybe that needs to be looked at. Let's just see what's going on in your sacrum. I've got an itchy nose. I do apologise. Let's just see what's going on in your sacrum. Yeah, there is, don't socialise for socialising's sake. I wouldn't do that if I was you. I would get more into, you really need to get into a pleasure here. You need to sort of start finding the pleasure that sort of stimulates you. That could be dancing. So it might be a case of joining a dance group. Just try it out. Just try things out this week, I think, for you, Scorpio. Just suck it and see, if it works for you, as I say. But, there is, in the sacrum, there's a definite disproportion between the left and right hand side. So the left is much more prominent. So that's, as we saw in the root chakra as well, and that's tied into that administration, jobs, material side of life. This is where I think movement is, there is movement, not within just your relationship side, but I think this could also be within your physical side. It might be the fact that you're changing jobs or looking for another job, and that sort of thing. And it's sucking you in a way, mentally. I'll be interested to see what happens on the third eye and the throat chakra. Let's just see what's going on your solar plexus. So here's the solar plexus. There is this fusion that everybody's been getting, but it pulls it off to the right more than anything else. It doesn't quite connect. It's almost making it's like a spiral, which is the solar plexus is not really like that. It's like this solar plexus is very well defined as it's kind of like goes rah, like that. Other things do spiral a lot more within their petal shape, and that gives that sort of movement factor. But the solar plexus is about sort of I'm here, I'm not moving sort of scenario. But it's playing into your heart, and everybody's been getting this, but it's sort of missing it. And I think this is where this breeds in that whole idea that you might be going through this week where I'm kind of going, I'm friendly with everyone, but I seem to be missing something. It's not clicking. And I think it's because the reason it may not well be clicking, this is a possibility, that you're not investing what you want in life. And this is a human trait. We tend to work on that basis that when everyone else is okay, I'm okay. And it doesn't work like that. Nothing works like that. Everything in the universe works on a process of if I make sure I'm okay, that means everybody else can be okay without taking full responsibility for other people. That seems to be, a little bit of a little bit of dodging going on there, Scorpio. And I would, because it's gonna come and look for you whether you like it or not. I think, because that's what life does. It comes and provokes. So why not, engage in that provocation of life and start, investing in your life, as it were. Let's just see what's going on the heart chakra. There seems to be one particular thing or one episode in your life, and this could be in the past, that is coming to the surface again. It's like a karmic lesson that you seem to be relearning, and you're kind of going, well, I've already learned this. Why am I relearning this? And I think this is the emotions attached to that karmic lesson that you need to apply in this life. And if you look back over your life, if there's something that's just been coming up in your thoughts or coming up in your life on your radar, that's connected to sort of past parts of your life, and just think about what got you out of that. Was it a case of getting you out of that situation? Was a case of, no, do you know what? I'm going to look after myself. And I think this ties into looking after your pleasures at the moment. But it is pulling a lot of emotion up through it. And I think that curving off of the solar plexus is almost as if it's pushing a little bit more of the heart that's from within you. So it could be tied into your passions or your family, because that's where you get a huge connection to your family through the solar plexus. So it seems to be, affecting the heart, or certainly bringing up emotions within your heart, and that could be, it would be worthwhile looking at, because it's hindering you more than anything else. You don't really need to, you shouldn't. It's like you're being hard on yourself here. Let's just have a look what's going on the rest. As I said earlier on, don't socialise for socialising's sake, because I think it's actually tiring you out. Being there for everybody, it's impossible to do. There's 7 billion people on this planet. You're not going to be there for everybody. Forget it. Try and do something that's possible rather than trying to do something that's impossible. So I would take a leaf out of Taurus's book, which is good for you because Taurus is opposite you, and it provides everything that you don't have, and you provide everything Taurus doesn't have, and they're very good connections. And sort of, invest in the relationships or the people or situations that actually corresponds to you. So you get out of it the same of what you're putting into it. There is a fair exchange. It'd be interesting to see what sort of cards come up in the second part of this reading, because that's when we're going to be doing your Astroflower reading with the Towers afterwards in part 2. It'd be interesting to see what cards come up on that regards to the 6 of Pentacles, maybe, or something like that. And I think maybe the Page of Wands as well may come out there, because it's all about sort of learning about your passions from within. It seems to be the learning curve we're going through, because in the first week of February there is a real learning curve, and then it's almost as if like there's the test that comes in the second week, and we got to get through it, and then we got to put into action the understanding of that second week as we make our way through to the beginning of March and all those changes that are coming in the beginning of March. On the outside of your heart, you have, on the outer section of your heart, you do have a lot of energy, and it's very nice energy. It's not divided as yet, but I think there is a slight crimping of the heart there, a slight pinching, but not very hectic. And I think that's what comes in the following week. It'd be interesting to see that in the next sort of readings. So there is this passion for living life, to living here and now, and in the connection with other people, but it's just not really hitting on the radar. I'd be interested to see what the cards come out, and petals 5 and 7 and 8 and 9, because that's where your guides are interacting, and I think this is where it is. So maybe it's a good week to pass some, take time out, do things that you enjoy, and take time out with connecting with your inner being, your guides that are within you. Let's just see what's going on the third eye and the throat chakra. So this is the same thing. It's disconnected. Well, not disconnected. The third eye is a lot bigger than the throat chakra. So, communication might be. This is where it might well be missing the connection because of the throat is not large enough. There seems to be a lot of thinking going on. So it might be a case of getting out of your head and getting into your body and sort of enjoying your passions for life and stuff like that. So then that gives us a little bit more focus for the solar plexus, which will give you a lot more sort of force going forward. But yeah, getting out of your head and into your body would be really good. Let's just see what's going on in your crown chakra. I think you're being hard on yourself, Scorpio. The world's not, the world's hard enough as it is. You don't need to add to it, surely. Just be gentle with yourself, I think. Try not to take on too much. Too much like a 10 of wands in a way. Too much sort of baggage from the outside world. I would look to sort of streamline your thinking in your meditation. Streamline what you can possibly do. So when you're looking at your needs and your wants, make sure that your needs fall into a volume of needs that you can actually do in the day. Sorry about that. And not, having a situation where you're trying to do too much in one day and getting frustrated with yourself, frustrated with the outside world, because you're not able to do everything. I would streamline that within your meditation and just take off a little bit of weight of sort of. It's good to look at oneself, and yes, I do believe there is. It's good to look at oneself. I think the moon will possibly come out and in one of these sections as well when we do the tarot reading, which comes up after this in the second video. But I think this is it's a bit sort of unseen, and it's the world outside, and you can be a little bit harsh on yourself. It's good to look at oneself and how we situate ourselves with the world outside, but don't forget you are dealing with the world outside, and there's a changing energy that's going on at the moment. Let's just see what's going on. Within your meditation, I would really get the needs and the wants in harmony, in balance, rather than going too far onto one side and end up sort of causing an imbalance within yourself. So let's just see what's going on in your aura. It's very internal. So this is where the solar plexus is is increasing a lot of energy around your midsection. So it's turning into a sphere rather than an egg shape, an oblique. And you really want the like a egg shape in a way, because you come into the earth and then it sort of combines, and then you've got your energy that's inside the earth. It's the going between the two. But between the solar plexus and the heart, because you've got that side movement going on, which is distracting you from your desires, and that's the outside world, it's making you middle heavy. So that may give the sensation of things not going quickly enough, or not clicking, not working in a harmonious sort of way. So that might be causing you a few sort of issues there. This comes back to that needs and wants sort of scenario, and making sure you just, what you're putting on your plate you can consume, basically. So yeah, there you go, Scorpio. That's been your blue energy blueprint reading. As I said, the tarot reading will also be coming out very shortly. If you've made it this far and you're not subscribed, what are you playing at? Can't believe it. You know, it's lovely to have you here, and I do appreciate your support for this channel. It's absolutely beautiful. But in the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.